Today, we are examining which state have the highest percentage of Muslim residents in 2023. Over the past few months, we've produced numerous videos discussing topics related to race and religion, covering nearly all significant racial and religious groups in the United States. Today, we'll delve into one more major religion, focusing on the Muslim population in the United States. Number 10. Arizona. In 2014, Arizona estimated that their Muslim population accounted for less than 1% of the total state population. At that time, a study suggested that many of these individuals were not actively participating in various community activities and tended to keep to themselves. However, since 2014, there have been notable changes. Recent developments indicate that Muslim residents in Arizona are becoming more engaged in various activities, including politics within the Grand Canyon state. Presently, it is estimated that Arizona is home to approximately 109,000 to 110,000 Muslims, constituting around 1.5% of the state's population. This suggests a notable increase in both the Muslim population and their level of involvement in the community since 2014. Number 9. California. In our research and analysis of census data, we found that majority of Muslims residing in California are concentrated in Los Angeles metropolitan area and Orange County, essentially Southern California. According to the research, there are approximately 500,000 Muslims living in California. While the number might seem relatively low considering California's vast size, it's important to take into account that there are many remote and sparsely populated areas in the states where very few people reside. Additionally, many minority communities tend to avoid or less inclined to settle in such areas. However, it's worth noting that some organizations suggest a higher estimate, claiming that there are closer to 600,000 Muslims residing in Los Angeles alone. Nevertheless, the overall Muslim population in California is estimated to be around 500,000, accounting to roughly 1.3% of the state's total population. Number 8. Massachusetts. This particular finding was somewhat surprising to me. Massachusetts boasts over 20 mosques around the state, with the majority of them situated in the Boston metropolitan area. Additionally, this university in the Massachusetts have a significant number of Muslim students, and Cambridge has a notably sized Muslim community. Given these factors, we expected Massachusetts to rank higher on the list. However, what truly surprised me is how relatively low the numbers are. The estimated Muslim population in Massachusetts stand approximately 133,000, constituting around 1.9% of the state's total population. I had anticipated a larger Muslim presence, given the factor mentioned earlier. Nonetheless, this statistic highlights the diversity and distribution of the Muslim population across various states in the U.S. Number 7. Minnesota. This finding shouldn't come as a surprise to those familiar with Minnesota. The Minneapolis-St. Paul area is home to substantial Muslim communities. I recall an anecdote about a stand-up comedian from Minnesota who is a Muslim. During one of his shows, when he mentioned he was from Minneapolis, a heckler in the crowd, who had perhaps had a few drinks, remarked, quote, "I thought you guys only came from the desert," unquote. The comedian humorously replied, "Sir, that's not true." To which the guy retorted, "Well, that's what they thought to me in school." The comedian quipped, Oh well, that makes sense. Around 8th grade, they tell you that it's not just a warm weather faith. I just want to talk down about your 7th grade education. But hey, there are a lot of successful janitors with a 7th grade education. He then moved on, leaving the guy to contemplate his strength. Instead, Minnesota has a sizable Muslim population, with nearly 115,000 Muslims living in the state, constituting about 2% of this population. Number 6. Virginia. Virginia boasts a significant and thriving Muslim community. Much like Massachusetts, many of the state's universities have an above-average enrollment of Muslim students. The majority of Virginia's Muslim population resides in the Arlington-Alexandria area. However, the southern part of the state, you'll find a town called Emporia, situated west of Virginia Beach and not far from the North Carolina border. Emporia stands out as having the highest concentration of Muslims in the United States, based on the 2020 census, with a staggering 29% of the city's population being Muslim. Aside from these unique distinctions, Emporia is known for being a charming small town. As of the 2020 census, Virginia's Muslim population is estimated to be approximately 170,000, just shy of 2% of the state's total population. Number 5. Michigan. This ranking might come off as a bit of a surprise, as one might expect Michigan to be higher on the list, perhaps even in the second position. Nevertheless, Michigan has consistently maintained a substantial Muslim population. In the latter part of the 20th century, Michigan expected a significant influx of people from the Middle East, resulting in a diverse ethnic makeup. The largest ethnic group now consists of descendants from various Middle Eastern nationalities, including Muslim and Christians from Lebanon and Palestine, as well as immigrants from Syria, Iraq, and Yemen. One notably hub for the Muslim community in Michigan is Dearborn, located in the Detroit metropolitan area. Dearborn boasts a sizable Muslim population, with nearly 242,000 residents considered to be Muslim. In total, Michigan is home to around 2.4% of Muslims, constituting almost 242,000 people, which underscores the state's rich cultural and religious diversity. Number 4. Maryland. Baltimore is often regarded as one of the most Muslim-friendly cities in the United States, and it indeed has a robust and thriving Muslim community. However, it's worth noting that this designation as Muslim-friendly might not necessarily imply friendliness to everyone, as the speaker humorously points out. Nevertheless, the statistics confirm that Baltimore hosts a significant Muslim population. When looking at the broader state of Maryland, it becomes apparent that the Muslim community is substantial. Maryland, is a home approximately 189,000 Muslims, comprising about 3.1% of the state's population. Number 3. New Jersey. New Jersey is home to a significant and vibrant Muslim population, especially in places like Paterson. Paterson is renowned for its diversity, and it's known for hosting the largest Turkish American community in the United States. It's often referred to as Little Istanbul, and is also home to the second largest Arab American community, after Dearborn, Michigan. However, it's important to note that these communities aren't limited to Paterson. They can be both found in various parts of the Garden State. In New Jersey as a whole, the Muslim population is substantial, with nearly 322,000 individuals identifying as Muslim. This community represents about 3.5% of New Jersey's total population, making it a significant and influential presence within the state. Indeed, New Jersey boasts a robust and diverse Muslim community. Number 2. New York. New York City is renowned as the vast melting pot, and this diversity extends to its Muslim community. While other cities like Buffalo also have substantial Muslim population, it's evident that New York City naturally commands the lion's share of various demographic groups, giving its immense size and cultural diversity. The majority of present-day Muslim residents in New York City trace their American roots back to the 1980s and 1990s, when the city began receiving Muslim refugees from war-torn regions worldwide. Additionally, it welcomed green card lottery recipients from countries like Bangladesh and Central Asian republics during that period. However, New York State has had a substantial Muslim population for generations, and this community has consistently grown out over the years due to the history of migration and the city's reputation as a cultural melting pot. Number 1. Illinois. Illinois, much like New York City, is characterized by its own main city, Chicago, which is renowned as a melting pot with diverse neighborhoods and communities representing various races, cultures, and faiths. Among these communities, Muslims hold a substantial presence, particularly in Chicago. While Muslims can be found throughout the state, the majority of them are concentrated in Chicago. According to estimates from the Council from American Islamic Relations, Chicago's Muslim population is estimated to be around 300,000, with some estimates suggesting it could be as high as 500,000. It's worth noting that figures provided by advocacy organization or cultural and faith groups sometimes tend to be a higher side compared to more independent sources like Pew Research or the Census. In recent years, Chicago has experienced an immigration surge from Muslim countries, which began approximately 5 years ago. The presence of second and third generation Muslim families in the city has also contributed to this demographic boom. Overall, it's estimated that there are about 475,000 Muslims living in Illinois, constituting approximately 3.7% of the state's total population. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching.